Hi and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a tag video. Now this is a tag that I have created, which I'm kind of nervous about because I've never created my own tag on my own before. I've created one with Molly Burke before, as you guys know, the Blind Girl Beauty tag, but I've never created a tag solo, which is quite nerve-wracking. But I've wanted to do this tag for ages now actually, and it's called the Guide Dog tag. Now, I just felt that this was an area on YouTube that was missing, because there are like fairy friend tags and there are animal related tags, but there aren't any that are just solely dedicated to four-legged friends who act as our eyes. So I just felt it was right that I created one, and I thought it might be fun for you guys to get to know my guide dog a bit better and for her to get a bit of exposure, so that's what I'm going to do. I will insert a picture about now of what she looks like just above my head, if you can see that. So anyway, let's get into the video. So I've got the questions on my iPhone, as you do. 1 second. So the first question is, what is your guide dog's name? Her name is Unity. What is your guide dog's breed? She is half Labrador and half Golden Retriever cross, and she's a yellow lab. Well, yellow, you know, she's yellow in colour. Question 3, how old is your guide dog? She is 5 and she will be 6 in October. Question 4, where was your guide dog trained? She was trained in Redbridge for a good period of her life, and then she was taken down to the London district team to be trained there because she is a London based guide dog. Question 5, when did you qualify with your guide dog? I qualified with her in July 2012. Question 6, is he or she your first guide dog? She is my first guide dog, yes. I have had pet dogs, but I've never had a guide dog. Summarise your guide dog's personality in 5 words. Okay. I'd say sweet, cheeky, intelligent, funny, very funny, and wonderful. Question 8. What is the best thing about your guide dog? I mean, there are so many great things about having a guide dog, and Unity's amazing. I think the best thing about having my guide dog is, I guess, the spontaneity that comes with it, because I think having her, Unity's such a free spirit and she's so easygoing. I can feel like I can go anywhere with her and it won't matter because she's such an easy dog. She takes everything in her stride. She's so competent, she's very clever, and she's quite happy to do new routes, and she's quite happy to go exploring and, you know, to come with me when I want to go and take my nature pictures or just want to go for a wander, which I love about that because she's such an easygoing dog and she's quite happy to go on new routes and new adventures with me, which I love. That is pretty much the most awesome thing about having a guide dog. You're just so free when you have one. What is the funniest thing your guide dog's ever done? It's really hard to say because she does a lot of funny things on every day, and I can't call them all my memories up on record of what she's done, but I have to say the funniest thing she's ever done was when I was at an exhibition once with my friend. We'd gone to see this Shakespeare exhibition for our course, and there was a section in it to do with The Tempest, and they'd basically done this projection image of, I think it's Caliban on the wall, and this great big projection image of Caliban was sort of rearing up and going into some big monologue to, you know, the guy who was in it, and she literally freaked out. She sort of got, her hackles went up, she backed away and she sort of stood in front of me to stop me from like walking any further, and she went and she really didn't like it. She started barking and I was so disorientated because Unity never barks. She's such a quiet dog, she never barks, but literally she really went for it. In all fairness, it was quite scary though, so I can't really blame her for doing that. But on record, that's definitely one of the funniest things she's ever done. But like I say, my guide dog does a lot of funny things on a regular basis, so every day is a funny day with her particularly. She's just a very comical dog. Has your guide dog ever gotten you into any embarrassing situations? Oh my god, yes. There are 2 I'm going to mention offhand. One of them is a bit crude, so I am sorry, this is going to be a bit PG. So the first one I can remember, I actually had first got her and I was at university on this particular day, and I'd gone to go and get a coffee before my lecture had started, and there was this production in my university. There were these drama students who were practicing for this Greek play, and the guys had on these tunic kind of toga things, and apparently nothing underneath, what I was told. Unity sort of was sitting there on the floor, and she sort of got up when she saw these guys behind me in the queue, and she looked at them, look all sweet and serene, and then she sort of started sniffing them, but then she got her nozzle underneath this guy's toga and started sniffing his parts. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And this guy went bright red, but he was like, oh my god, no, it's funny. It's like, ha ha, it's very funny, ha. I just tried to laugh it off, but literally she'd probably been going for it, and I was so embarrassed. And luckily enough, my coffee had been done, so I grabbed it and legged it off because I was just so embarrassed that she'd actually done that to somebody and started trying to like nuzzle his piece. I was mortified. I was mortified. I could not believe it, and I was just so embarrassed. So definitely, if you've got guide dogs, be warned, they will do that. Although another one actually is, as I'm sort of sure many of you will know, when you have a guide dog and when you walk with them all the time and everywhere and in shops and in like, you know, shopping places, so they can not always distinguish when they are outside and when they are inside, especially when they're walking through somewhere like Bluewater, for example. And I remember there was this one time where I was going to a fashion show in my local shopping centre, and we were walking towards it, and I sort of sensed that Unity wanted to go to the toilet because she starts to walk a little bit more sort of stiffly, and she starts to sort of drag her bum down to the ground because she wants to go to the toilet. And I knew she wanted to go to the toilet, and I started saying to her, no, Unity, come on, we've got to go and find an exit then if you want to go. But she couldn't wait. She sort of squatted there, started sort of moving her backside and doing a little jiggy, and she did a big, massive poop in the middle of the shopping centre. It was in front of the fashion show where I was going to be sitting with my mum. I'm sorry, it does not get any more embarrassing than that. I was mortified because everyone was looking, and these boys actually got their camera phones out and started filming it. So if you ever see a random video on the internet circulating of this guide dog pooping in the shopping centre, it's probably of my guide dog, alright? And then I was so embarrassed, I actually gave my mum the poo bag and I walked off because I didn't want to stay where I was. She had to pick up the poo, tie it up and put it in the nearest bin in the shopping centre, and the nearest bin happens to be next to two young girls who were eating their Krispy Kreme donuts. Sorry girls, had to be done. What is your guide dog like on harness? Unity, when she's working, she's a very stoic dog. She takes everything in her stride. She's very competent. She's a very calm, placid dog. In a way, she's quite solemn when she works. She's quite a business-like dog. It's like work hard, play hard with her. She knows when she's off the harness she can play, but when she's on harness, she's a very competent dog and she's very good at guiding me. So she's a very great dog on harness, and she works really well actually. What are some of your guide dog's quirks? I'd have to say one of her biggest quirks is when I'm walking towards her and she's sort of facing the opposite direction to me and she's sort of facing me, instead of turning around and walking in the opposite direction, she'll sort of back off like this. And it's a bit like a JVC lorry, like, warning, dog reversing. She won't turn around and sort of back off. She'll just like back off and face me, which is quite funny because she usually bashes into somebody's legs or something, which is quite hilarious. So that's one of her quirks. She's got a big obsession with bubbles as well. She eats bubbles. I don't know why. Whenever I have bubbles and my friends are playing with bubbles, she tries to eat them. Don't know why. Another one is actually the quizzical brow, as we like to call it. So the quizzical brow is when my Unity will just be sitting there and she raises her eyebrows. She's got such an expressive brow. She'll be like this. She'll go, and her eyebrows will raise. And she'll like look at you, and especially when I'm talking to her, she'll be looking at me like I'm some sort of donut. And I'll be doing my exam and I'll be like, Uni, I don't know about this, and she'll be looking at me and she'll do the quizzical brow and she'll be raising her eyebrows, and it'll be really disconcerting, like, are you seriously gonna write that in your essay, Emily? So definitely her quizzical brow is one of them. And then another thing that she does, whenever she's happy, her ears like sort of perk up, so she looks like her ears are on stilts. They'll raise up like this, but when she's kind of, you know, unhappy, her ears will go and they'll droop to the floor. So you can tell how she's feeling from her ears. They're very expressive ears. They'll kind of lift to different points depending on what her mood is. But I think that's a kind of a doggy thing in general. But for her, it's so much more animated when she does it. So definitely that's another thing that she does. Where does your guide dog seem to work the best? You know what, I have to say with my guide dog, she works very well at university. She loves going to university. She's a really happy dog when she's there. But also she works really well when we're in London actually. She loves busy situations. I think when we're somewhere quite quiet, like my local area, like if I'm going to the shop, if I'm going shopping in my local area, she gets really bored. But when we're in London and it's a lot more busier and there's a lot more going on, she really enjoys it. I think she thrives on that kind of bustling metropolis. She really enjoys being somewhere where there's a lot of action going on and there's lots of people and things to see and it's all going on. She's very much a city dog at heart. I don't think she'd do well in the country. I think she likes the hustle and bustle of the London vibes. I think she's a city girl, which is great because she's like her mummy. So definitely she works very well at university, but also in central London. She works really well there actually. What is your guide dog's favourite thing to do on a harness? Well, naturally she loves going to the park. I mean, what guide dog doesn't like going to the park when they can? But also I think she really likes to go out in the garden, and there's some steps that's kind of back on out to the garden, and she'll sit on the highest step and she'll look out and survey her little kingdom. She'll look out onto her property and she'll just sit there and just watch the world go by. She loves doing that. And she also loves playing tug of war. She really likes playing tug of war. That's one of her favourite games. So definitely parks, but also she just likes being in the garden, and she just likes having a bit of time to herself. She does like that time where she can just chill out and just, you know, just relax and just sit out in the garden with a carrot and just watch the world go by. Has your guide dog ever done anything that goes beyond the call of duty? Well, you know what, I think every day our guide dogs surprise us with the things that they do. I mean, certainly with Unity, once when I was out and I had misassessed traffic, I didn't see that there was a car coming, and Unity actually pulled me back from the road and stood in front of me to stop me from walking out any further, to stop me from getting hit by this car. And that was amazing, because even though that they're trained to do that, it's not advisable for them to be put in that situation, but you can't always guarantee that they are going to get it right, because they are dogs at the end of the day and you do ask a lot from them. But she did actually manage it, and she really did help me that day, because the car was coming quite fast and I didn't actually see it. So she managed to pull me away, stand in front of me, and then when it was safe, she sidestepped me and let me walk forward. She is a very sensitive dog, and she's always there with me, and I feel like whenever I'm out, I don't feel as worried about my health condition because of my low blood sugar. I sometimes feel that I'm not going to assess things properly because of my low blood sugar and because I'm disorientated. But Unity manages really well, so I think every day goes beyond the call of duty, and she does her job really well. And so that concludes my guide dog tag today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. So to finish off, I'm going to tag a few people. I'm going to tag Molly Burke, and I'm also going to tag Kimberly from the blog Gleamed. But I tag all of you guys, my followers. If any of you have guide dogs and you want to do it yourself, feel free to do it and share it under the hashtag guide dog tag so I can see it. And that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!